universal health care. It's the same thing. Universal health insurance. What does that really mean? Health insurance. We are ensuring that we will provide you with health. This is the exact same promise of saying we will ensure you that we will provide you with diversity. It's the exact same thing. We will ensure that we will provide you with public safety. Oh, that's the worst, right? Public safety. This is why it's a psychosis. And the only reason why this would work is if you were inside a palisade of dead trees. Your house, most of the time, is made out of gypsum salt. Drywall is gypsum salt. And salt is the memoried earth. It's a petrified soil is what salt is. And there's something stored in that salt, which is the tears or the memory or the excretion of something that already happened, which means that salt itself is this dead, crystallized memory of something that was alive. And I don't mean dead in a disparaging way. If you are sold on being inside the palisade, you think death is bad. You think that's a bad word. But if you're living outside the palisade, you don't even have the connotation that dead carries with you. You might even call it westing. You might even have a really excited, fascinated look about it, but not inside the palisade, because there's inserts inside. That's why inside the palisade there were rules. When the very first palisades were begun, the rules were you cannot grow your hair long. You cannot go out into nature and thrive and prosper and then come back into the palisade and tell us how thriving and prosperous it is outside the palisade. That was an actual rule. There were guards at the palisade gate. And you and I, because we were shipped on a yellow shipping container, are taken to a shooting drill facility where in between the shooting drills we were taught fucking stories. We're told that the reason why the palisade had a guard at the gate was to stop nature from coming in. And the entire time, when you look at the historical record, when you look at Roanoke, when you look at Jamestown, when you look at literally 35% of what Benjamin Franklin even wrote down about the Indians, you realize, holy shit, those guards were not there keeping nature out. They were there keeping everyone inside the palisade in. And this is the meaning of the wall. This is the meaning of Trump building a wall. The exact same psychosis of everything will be all right. All we need to do is kill things and create a barrier, a circle, and everyone inside the circle of things that have been killed will be civilized, and everyone outside the circle of things will not be. And it creates this profound psychosis, doesn't it? And the psychosis is decorated. The psychosis is carried through the streets on stilts, in a lounge chair. It's dressed like the hedonist, the psychosis is. It's anointed with the oil from our hair that we chopped off because we're inside the palisade. It's anointed with our worship. It's anointed with our promotion as the authority of diversity for us. And that we're petting this psychosis as it wanders through the village on this platform. And we throw flowers at it and beads. We show it our tits. We do whatever it is to make sure that the psychosis is king. The psychosis is the consort of consensus, right? It's the consort. And only inside the palisade could consensus even sit long enough to congeal. And outside the palisade, consensus dissolves into nature itself, where there is no central place, where there is no insurance, where there is no insert and where there is no law explaining just how innocent the government would be. 1986, the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act. That whether you want to admit it or not, whether you have the nature for it or not, the Georgia Guidestones were telling you what's been happening the whole time. That there are people inside the Palisade that have determined that the way to make the Palisade better is to kill 88% of the people inside. And that the entire time this process is completely natural. And that if we'd all been living outside the Palisade, we wouldn't have this problem. Do you know why? Because no one would know how many people there were. Nobody would know. Nor would there be an authority to make bullshit guesses about it either, right? There'd be no concept of it, because none of us would zetetically be able to experience the totality of existence all around of us. And any kind of cries for environmentalism would simply be exercised at home, locally. They're telling you 88% of the people needed to die, and not once has any of them said, hey, why don't we stop printing receipts? Why don't we create a regulation that makes it harder for a store to want to give you a sheet of fucking dead tree that's been bleached? That instead of us trying something as simple as that, where the only people that would disagree is some super uptight accountant that has an investment in these purple collapsible accordion file folders for his receipts, that lobby would certainly put up a good fight. And that you and I are deciding that the coupon accordion receipt library coalition is too powerful, and that the coalition of, hey, let's not kill 88% of the fucking people on the planet doesn't have the lobbying power to compete with the receipt people, the accordion receipt people. And so instead of us trying something as simple as, hey, let's stop printing receipts, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the National Child Safety Vaccine Act. And we're going to go ahead and launch right into this experimental drug that is so unknown to us that we can't even write what's on the fucking insert, because that makes more sense inside the Palisade. Do you know why? Because we've been greasing this psychosis like a pig. And we haven't just put lipstick on the pig's lips. No, we've put it on the pig's asshole. And we're parading this around like a two-headed pig, saying this is the most glorious pig we've ever seen. My God, the Palisades is so beautiful. Look at how wonderful it is here. This guy said, health information has cost us lives. And he said it twice. And I'm tired of people giving an excuse like, oh, well, it's sometimes you just make a mistake. The dude's only job is to fucking sit in front of a camera and communicate with you. That's his only job. Stop saying he made a mistake. Stop telling me the people inside the Palisades are not sucking the schlong and licking the sphincter of this lipsticked psychosis, because that is what is happening. And we've justified it all because we have a Supreme Court case.